Tēnā koutou. Nō reira, ko tēnei kaupapa, kai wāinga i a tātou i tēnei ahiahi pō. Ko te whakanui a te wāriu o te kaiako, to know the worth of our teachers with inspiring, aspiring and expiring principleship. Nō te Whānau a Apanui, Ngāti Porou, Ngai Tahu e Ngāti Whātua, ko koe tērā arihia. Ko ia no hoki te o ngā tumuaki, no te kura kaupapa Māori o Ngā Tapuwae, whose philosophy of ina te mahi he rangatira, by deeds a chief is known, is well recognised. Kei te hihau te mihi atu ki a koe arihia, ko koe anō hoki te o ngā pau, e tautoko ana i ngā kaiako, i ngā rangatira, i waenga nui i watātou nei kura katoa, mai rā no te rā huatanga, me mihi kā tika. Arihia is also the chairperson of Ngā Kura Aiwi o Aotearoa. Nō reira paki mai e te whare, ki tēnei o a tātou nei tua wahine, ko Arihia Stirling.
Kororea ki te matua tirangi, nāna nei ngā mea katoa. E te whānau e nohono mai nei, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Kei tōku rangatira wai mātou. Moi mai, Maria, moi mai rā. Moi mai, ki roti tō moi ngā roa. E kore rawa atu i wareware sia i te rangatira. Nā hau i para te huarahi mo tātou katoa i tēnei rā, arā ki te mahi aroha nui. Nā reira e te mārai kura, hoki atira ki te tatau o te paunamu, tatau o te pō. Kei reira o tīpuna i tiaki a koe. Nā reira, e wai, moi mai rā. Tēnā tātou katoa, anei taku kaupapa e iriri mai rā. So pera, I woku koka I ngā pō, get straight into it. So, I te ata nei kōrero hau ki oku koka, ko muti tērā kōrero, ko wehi rawa tahi, hikaka ana te wairua, pai te whira, ki tēnā waka me ngā koha o Tangaroa ki roto I te pūtu, kua rawa atu rawa. Nā reira, hei te mutungo tērā, ka haere au ki roto I taku ruma ki te mahi tēnei mahi, ka kite hau taku tōku whanaunga Dr. Hera Blake. Ka mi mai ei, e kite hau I rongo hau ngā kōrero o ngā koera, ka hoki tonu atu ki taku ruma, ki te tini taku kaupapa. And I said, oh ai, mea hau hoki. Nā reira I rungi I tēnā, ka huri a hau ki tuetahi o ngā kōrero I kōrero hia te ngā koea I ngā pō. Nā reira tēnā tātou. But before I talk about that, I wanted to go straight to what my kōrero is. One of the things that we as an organisation, and I'm always inspired because I reckon behind a good woman sits two good men. But when two good men, Tahu I haven't finished, when two good men or one good man is standing, another good woman is sitting behind them. And the reason why I say that is because I took back the kuia to my room, and I thought, I'll pop them in their rooms and they pop their jammies on. No. One of our illustrious aunties says, "You got a Pinot Gris?" And I was like, "No, of course I have, auntie." And then the other little queer, the 94-year-old goes, "Well, get two." And I was like, "What?" But it wasn't really about the alcohol, it never really is. It was about the chance for them to actually have a chance to talk and debrief and get together. But during that time, they had some really important kōrero. And one of the things that I wanted to lean into today was they talked about the word, because we were having a discussion about something to do with the police, and it was a kaupapa about mana wahine. And then Auntie Edie said, "I don't like that word." And I was like, just quietly inside, I quite like it myself, but I'll shut up. And then she says, "Because you know what it is? It's called genderisation from colonisation of Māori." And I was like, oh, okay, we'll go there. But the thing that I wanted to say about that is that her kōrero is always about whānau. We don't put anyone, men, woman, against each other, that the whānau is most important with all of those factors. So that's where we're getting to. So then she likened teachers are like a whānau. And then she said, you've got the oldest child, the middle child, the pōtiki rakaraka. And so I've sort of figured that my koho is going to be like that, the inspiring teachers, the pōtiki rakaraka. So you've got teacher trainees, you've got beginning teachers, provisional registered teachers, and registered teachers. That's all of us here in the room, whichever one we sit in at the moment. And then, because I captured these gold pearls, here we go with one of them. Oh, she does have her wine.
Received the karanga from the sacred wombs of their mothers. Every one of them. So when the forehead comes forward, the karanga to that baby, haere mai rā e te tupuna. When the head comes forward, haere mai rā te moko puna a te tupuna.
Kia ora.
Haere mai, haere mai, haere mai, as they have been brought. Every one of my 19 moko had the karanga from the sacred wombs of the, and that's the karanga. Haere mai rā e te tupuna, haere mai rā e te moko puna, the intergenerational ancestry. Yeah, every one of them.
Wow. So when we think of things like that, the kuia, she said that mokopuna, our intergenerational ancestry. And those are the people that we serve every day when we do our work. So if we get back to the teaching part of things, students' points of views matter. Their views will be always on point if you have the right guidance. And that's what the kuia said last night. If they do silly things, then we have to fix up the silly things. Your teaching style will and should evolve over time, especially with good PD. Staff relationships are the key to professional success. Teachers have the power to turn on the rain or bring out the sunshine for students every single day. We must remember that when we walk through the school gates every morning, to leave our stuff at the gate. Holistic and personal wellbeing should be a priority teachers, and should be factored into your weekly planning. You must learn to be selfish for your own mental health by utilising your non-contacts to give back time to yourself by doing something at school that lifts your spirits. I'm not advocating tumuaki that they go off and have a pedicure. Stop sacrificing your own well-being by saving someone else. Teachers, hey, we've got to stop that. Put your own life jacket on. Nah. So I think we've got another bit of drop of pearl of wisdom from them. Have we? Where's my person?
Kia ora, tātou. A nei te whakatauki a taku tupuna whaia, nānei I miri a mai. ki roto i ahau, te wā i ahau, pepi tununa. Ina ki te koe te tahi mea he, whakatikania. Ina kore, ka rite koe ki taua he. Kia ora. Kia ora. Kia ora.
So we're in middle management. Hang on. So the next one is aspiring managers, aspiring leadership, building capacity for your schools, making sure the whole system is working. Middle management, senior management, your leadership, if you're a first-time principal and principals. We must stand up for what we know is right. And you heard that from the kuia last night, righteous, and what our mokopuna and staff rightly deserve. And what we do sometimes is we forget that we do things for our children, but we forget about our staff. And without our staff, our children aren't served well enough. So that's an idea that I just want to put in our thought thinking. We all own that, like everyone, not just one person in the school system, everyone. We have to fight for the rights of ourselves as tumuaki, as teachers, but we're all a whānau. This may cause contention with other organisations, but we don't need, like the kuia said last night, we don't need tauiwi permission to do what is right for us, by us, our way, right? Leadership teams need to work together to formulate a common goal that the whole kura community and iwi can strive for. You need to be committed to a journey towards excellence. Achievement should be the baseline, not the maybe. It's the baseline. Every student deserves to achieve, and it's our jobs as teachers, middle managers and senior managers to find the best way for them to be successful regardless of their struggles. Remember, there's no dumb kids, just dumb teaching. We must be open to reflect, change tack, be innovative and be collaborative just like our tipunamu, but also know that when we need to take the lead, we make the hard decisions, just like our tipuna did. You need to champion the learning first, tātou mā. Everything else is secondary. That's our job. That's what a teacher is, okay? You should be driving the learning, not driving the school bus. Focus on, be relentless on success for our tauira. Allocate the sports teams and the caretakers' duties, and these are to senior management, to someone else. If you're a small school, that your well-being is at the centre of all the decisions after achieving excellence for your tauira. Remember, all the other stuff, the blocked toilets, the fence falling over, give it to someone, delegate that duty, senior management. Your job is to drive the learning. So when we're talking about that, I want to go back to our organisation and remind ourselves of the capacity building that Ngā Kura iwi is trying to do to ensure that we do what's purposeful for us. Mō tātou, mā tātou, e ai ki a tātou. So these things here lean into the PDs. Make sure that we aspire to doing these things on a regular basis. Make sure that we get it. That's a free PD. Another thing, because you know, both kuias were both teachers in their lifetimes, and Auntie Edie said, "Oh, stop going to those Pākehā PDs." She says, what happens is you go there and then you have to come back and you have to recalibrate it in your mind as Māori and momo taima. And I was like, oh, kia ora koe. 5-year serving principals. So if you've been serving as a 5-year principal, why am I telling? I'm not just talking to these people. I'm talking to you who's an inspiring possible principal. So you already know what the journey is for you before you start becoming a principal. So here you go. All great leaders must ensure that there is a succession plan in place so you don't abandon your school community and your whānau. A great way to develop your senior leadership team is to set up good school practices and procedures that everyone knows how to enact. Identify your team's strengths and play to those. Don't pick on their weaknesses. Once your school is set up and well, and these are the principles, begin to look at other professional goals, passions or kaupapa that interest you that will also benefit your school, community and its whānau. Begin to take on leadership roles or participate in other advisory groups, but only if all is well in your own kura or in your own backyard first. Don't rush into this step. It has been the downfall of many. Exiting principles, retiring principles. So I'm an exiting principal. And I thought, wow, I'm expiring. And I at my tumuaki hui last year, doing a koho with the tumuaki, I just said it out loud. Actually, I wasn't even thinking I was going to say that. And then I thought, oh my God, I've just said it. So when you say something, you've got to do it. So at that hui, I declared at the tumuaki pai toma hui, yeah, I'm finishing in 2 years. And then I just heard myself say, did you actually say that? I got scared, but I had said it. And I'm now vlogging my journey. Hei tauira mo tātou katoa. It's scary. Aroha mai ki taku kura. So then I declared it to a whole lot of people that aren't in my community that I'm leaving. And then I got scared. I was like, oh my God, someone's going to tell their kazi, that's going to tell their kazi, then it's going to get back to my board chair, who's a kazi from most of them in Waikato, his wife's from Waikato. I was like, oh, it's getting too close. So, tere tonu whakahoki, ki te kura, trying to fix it all up. So then I thought, no, I'm going to go and have a holiday because I really need one, self-love. Yeah, other people would think it's deflection, but I thought, no, I need self-love. So I thought about it all holidays of how we're going to tell my staff, because this is a biggie. I've been a teacher in that school for 35 years. I took on the reins after my parents. And Ngā Tapuwae is a culture, it's our way, like every other kura in this room. You have your way. And I knew it would be easy, 75, 85% of my teachers are ex-pupils. And sometimes I think they will feel that I'm abandoning the ship. But no, I'm not. I'm leading by example. So the first week, we had our first, our staff-only week. Because I'm a daring and rebellious principal, they all come in a week. And I told them I would change the way that things were done at Ngā Tapuwae. So everything they were used to would not be like that this year. So, because I had the whole whakapapa of the whānau, so I knew when Nani Juju passed away, the Nani Papa, I knew all of that. But I had to, in order to clean all of those things up, where they could, the new person that was taking over would say, oh no, Arihia used to do that for me. So I warned them. Your leave, and I picked on leave. Your leave will be what you're allowed to have in the collective. Your leave is going to look like this. It's going to be very, very sanitised. It's not going to have the emotion and feeling of my aroha for you as one of my ex-pupils and love all your whānau. So I had to set those boundaries so that I could start taking out my wairua from the school. And all these things. So I was thinking I need to do things, clean things out, so the next principal that comes in will find it easy to find themselves in the space that I used to be in. And I cried. I set up a new ohu. Oh, actually, our staff men, a few of us cried. Opened up the leadership. I set up a new leadership framework for the kura. And I just sucked a whole lot of people in, and we wānanga about what do we need to change for Ngā Tapuwae, what needs to stay the same. And then we worked at it all together, and we got all the different factions in the school to become the new SMT. In the old days, it was me, my DP, my APs, and that was it. Now I got this whole ohu who were going to help with the change. And the thing about that was understanding if one of them wins the lotto and goes to Greece to live in Santorini, well, you can count that one out. So we got another 4. So it was just about building capacity so that if one got to leave, whatever happened, we were going to be okay. Then when I told my staff, at our first staff meeting of the week, and it's no news to my staff, me and my DP are besties. And when I told her, we both cried, and then she said, I'm going to resign too. And I was like, she said, well, we said we were going to resign together, and now you're going to gap it, and we're going to... And I was like, okay, are you sure? My darling buddy. So we both resigned. Wow. Well, that really shuttered the thing. So to my buddy, my other DP, my old DP, we gapped it together in a way. And then we worked on this plan. So we repositioned her so she could have a better quality of life. I haven't got that yet because I've got to get out of the school to do that. But we repositioned her, cut her workload, and we had her exit plan in place. But we planned to gap together. Then the next thing was, I told the school, some of my teachers are related to the board. Geez, and half of the board are ex-pupils. I better sort that out too. So then I told the board, and we all cried. They were challenged, and I'll leave that at that. Then I invoked my plan. And the plan was to start checking through, teaching my SMT how to run all parts of the school, our wānanga, the way we set out Apanui, so everybody knew if one of us, won the lotto, well, the school will succeed. And then I felt brave at the end of school because we had such an last day of term. We'd run a whole whakarian production for Matariki with 260 students, all in that. It was the biggest, amazing thing we could do, but it nearly killed us. And I'm not lying. And we hosted the regional manu kōrero at the same time, 25 schools. Sorry, staff, I nearly killed you. But we learned something. We had a wānanga about that, and we learned never, ever do that again. And that's what I said to my staff. As the new leader, don't you ever do that again. Because I'll be on the other side of the fence later as a nanny and watch out. No. And then I felt brave enough after I mahied to our students and told them how amazing they were. Then I told them. And then we cried. So working hard now to reset the school so that no one can be held account in any way, because I made sure that it's safe. Have a larger team to transition, to carry the load, to share the load so we can all stay well. Purposeful learning into role modelling how to look after staff so our kaupapa doesn't fall over but get stronger, because I can practice this with my team for the next 18 months and teach them, with the understanding that people may still leave, but whatever happens to our school kaupapa, it will be forever stronger. So getting back to the real ngako of our kōrero. Schools need to be focused on supporting our uri to become great global citizens. For us, this means that our graduating students are able to be confident, articulate, you can read. But basically, that's what I think. The most important thing about that is that they are good uri, are good whānau, hapu and iwi members in terms of our organisation. We've got another one from Iritana this time.
Basically, if you don't feel valued, there's no way you can touch someone else and pass on that value. We're so often always looking at the downside, and that's there. Doesn't mean to say we ignore it, but dealing with it, we have to feel valued, and the people we deal with have to be valued. If you're feeling good about yourself, you can do better at what the job is. Otherwise, we're wallowing in problems and what's going wrong, and, we get so bogged down in problems, we've lost faith in ourselves and hope.
That candle of hope, eh?
Yeah.
whū. Te wāriu o te kaiako. He kaitiaki. You are valuable beyond measure. Titiro ki te pukapuka tū rangatira. Nā tō tātou rangatira pēm e mahi tera pukapuka. Titiro ki roto i te wāhanga o te kaitiaki, kei reira ngā hua o ngā kōrero, hei aki, hei tautoko tēnei kōrero. The future of Māori education resides in the ability of our kuras like ours to be self-sufficient, and it requires teachers to be valued, cared for and treated with the mana and dignity we all deserve. The future of our schools deserve that. If you think about the word school, it's our whānau. The future of our iri deserve that. Your mokopuna, our mokopuna. Your well-being, teachers, all of us in this room, is measured by how well the school system that is led by many is working. Can't do it alone. So, some more thoughts for you to understand. Utilise the shared and distributed leadership methods so that your kura has the capacity to function if people are sick, have unexpected leave, or leave. Every decision that is made needs to be taken into consideration, has to be about the well-being of the teachers first. Great ideas, but what are the implications? Teachers need to be resolute in knowing how much they can handle, knowing what their professional duties are first. First and foremost is the learning. Extracurricular support of the school operations and balance your life to have enough gas in the tank to actually live your life after it all, right? Because too many of us are running on empty right now, and you've got a long journey home. Kia mai mahara tonu ngā kōrero o tū rangatira. Ka maru koe ki tōku pūreki, he kahu pi tonga. Ara ke te kōrero tēnā. Mai ngā tipuna. Exit into the queer.
Morena, anti pi o whakaro I tēnei rakata.
E mihe ngā me te huiru, me te wairu e rere haere nei. Kia nei, mena, kei te hari kua koe, kei te pai, e te taia e koe, whangai, tēnei wairu ki ngā mokopuna, kei raro I a tātou. Reira no tātou. You know, mena, if we're not feeling good, then we don't let anyone else feel good. And someone said to me, but if things are hard, how can you feel good? I said, you use your head. You know, kia mora mai koe, you are a critical person in how you transmit good feelings and personal excitement to the students that you had and to your mates. You know, it's so easy to, if you're not feeling good, then you're sort of down in the dumps and you're passing the wrong vibes on. It's easy for me to say because sometimes we are confronted with very difficult situations. But we've got to believe that that's more important than the difficult situation is the kind of way to and well-being we pass on to others.
Nā. I tēnā wā, kei te pirangi hau ki te tuku mihi ki o ka mātua. Pani rawa ko Te Kura Stirling. Ko rawa tahi I poi, I aki, I kōhete. Kia hau I ngā wā katoa. Ko rātou I homai te tākoha o te kaupapa o Ngā Tapuwae ki te taitonga o tāmaki ki Māngere. Nā reira e hoa mā, ko poto te kakao o tēnei paipa, nā te mea kei te kitea hau, te ngingi e haere mai ana. Nā reira, ko tēnei tēnā te koi o te kaiako tino koe. Ka kite ahau, ia koutou e pirangi ki te haere ki te neni nep me ki. Ko matu tēnei kōrero. Hei te mutungo tēnei kōrero, anei te tahi atu kōrero koha I waiho e au kia koutou katoa, mai te koia, mai te kahurangi, neira.
There were 4 candles glowing in a room. And as energy would have it, they were having a conversation with each other. And so the first candle says, you know what? I'm the candle of peace. And I shine the light of peace to the world. But no one wants to see my light. Countries are at war with each other. Families are at war with each other. Tuakana teina at war with each other. And they obviously don't want to see my light, so I may as well go out. And bling, out goes the candle of peace. The second candle says, well, you know what? I'm the candle of faith. And if there is no faith, we can have no peace. So I too will go out. Out goes the candle of faith. The third candle says, wow, gosh, I am the candle of love. I shine the light of love to the world. But if there is no love, there can be no faith, there can be no peace. So I too will go out, and bling, out went the candle of love, leaving one candle glowing in the room. In the room walks this child, and I claimed, of course, that the child is a child of Ngāti Whātua, came into the room and said to the remaining candle, hey, what's the matter with your mates? How come your mates have all gone out? And the remaining candle said, it's okay, my child, for you see, I am the candle of hope, and with me I can relight the other 3. Every one of us who leave this hui will leave as a candle of hope to relight the other 3 in our given lives wherever we are. Kia ora.
Nō reira, tātou mā, kia haumaru te haere, te hoki atu ki te kāinga, kia pai, ngā manaakitanga o te rungaranga, rawa ki rongi a koutou katoa, tēnā koutou, I nā te mahi, he rangatira.
Kei te tuhine Arihia. Te tamahine Apanui rāua ko te kepa. Te uri o Te Whānau Apanui, Ngāti Porou, Ngāti Whātua, kai Tahu. Wai maria tēnei kaupapa, e hautu ana koe I te kaupapa. Wai maria tēnei kaupapa ia koe, ka kitau ia koe, ka rere ngā whakaaro kia pem. Hei, nāna tātou I whakakāo. Me te tuku I te rākau kia koe, koe tēnei whakarite ana I tētahi atu. Hei, ia Haywood, mana o tira mā tōna reanga, tātou e kaua ki ana mata. Reira, anei o iwi, o kura, tō whānau o ngā kura iwi, e mihi atu nei kia koe te tuahine. Me te koe o tō hine ngaro, mohu au, ko roa koe whakarita I tō kōru I te rānei, engari I kapo koe I etai taonga, I rangona e tātou ina pō, I whai wāhi e rā taonga ki roto I te whakātiranga I te rānei tuahine. No reira, nui te aroha kia koe, tēnā koe e whakatauira tonu nei I te mahi a te rangatira. Reira, kei te māreikura, kei te tuahine, tēnei te mihi kia koe, e te whānau, tēnā tātou, e mihi nei. Kia aia, o tira ki tōna kura, e noho mai nā ki muri nā, te Kura Māori o Ngā Tapuwae, te o hāki o na mātu o tira o te whānau whānui tonu, Ngā Tapuwae o ngā iwi o te kāinga rā. Tātou e pai nei, tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou. Nei tū. E tira e te whānau, tō tātou wai ata. Tapuwae!